button up. 'Cause it's
Okay.
Get my camera clear and see what you need to do.
All right, y'all. I got a story to tell. I got a ghost story to tell. This is a personal ghost story, and I come looking for the house that we lived in when it happened, and I found the remains. I found the ruins. We got the chimney. We got a fireplace right there. We got another fireplace. You know what? I think that's another fireplace. That ain't the well, is it, Tim? The well was right off the back porch. I mean, it was right off the back porch is what Danny told me. That is the well. Oh my gosh. Oh my word, y'all. This is the well. I'm fixing to tell y'all a story about this well. I've never seen this well. Lord have mercy. That is an open well sitting out here. Oh my goodness. Anyway, come to that corner of it because the front part looks, see, it's got a hole in it. See, there's a hole down there in the well. Wow. Okay, now. Okay, so there's the chimney. That was right off the back porch. So the back porch sat right here. It's the back porch. Look at these trees and how grown up these trees are, y'all. This house is where my family lived when my mama was pregnant with me 51 years ago. And the story I'm going to tell took place 51 years or more ago. And this house right back here that I'm walking around the ruins of, I don't remember because it burned down when I was, well, before I was 5 years old, it burned down. And I don't remember ever actually seeing this house. But I've always known that it had a round room in the front. I don't know how I know it. I've just always known it. There was 2 round rooms and they sat on either side of the porch. And it was a cold house. I remember the house, but I can't remember. There's no reason. It's not possible for me to remember the house. There's more ruins of it right over there. It's not possible for me to remember this house. Anyway, this is where we lived. I'm about to freeze to death, to be honest with you. Woo, it's cold out here. And I got a
Zip
chill.
your jacket up.
I got a chill just knowing where I'm at because I have never been back here to the ruins. I've never seen the well.
That well's amazing.
The well is a part of the story. It's a big part of the story, actually. Okay, so when my grandparents and my mama lived here, my daddy was over fighting the Vietnam War when my mama was pregnant with me. And my grandmother, she's told me stories about this house before, and she told me that the well, they couldn't use the water because it was, she said the well stunk. She said they had a piece of wood over the top of it because it stunk so bad. They wanted to have it closed off, but they couldn't close it off way back then. I don't know, it wasn't their house. They rented this house. She told me that the man who owned the house was a mean man. And she's talked about that well and how it always stunk. And she said that she wasn't sure he hadn't thrown dead bodies over in there. I know, I don't know that. And I don't want to say anything about somebody like that. But anyway, this house had a hall that ran from the front door straight through to the back door, ran all the way the length of the house. And everybody came to my grandparents' house to visit. It's just the way it was. That's what they did for fun back then. They went to relatives' houses and visited. And everybody was at my grandmother's house this night. And my granddaddy, he was off working somewhere, probably in another state. And they were all in here visiting and having a good time. And they were all in the back room, probably about where we're standing right here. They had a fire going and it was warm in there. It was a winter night. It was warm in there. But my aunt, who was about 9 years old at the time, she was sick. And my grandmother decided to take her across the hall into another room and give her some medicine. So my grandmother and my aunt walked across the hall. They closed the door to the living room behind them, went in the bedroom across the hall. And then there was a knock. And my uncle, who was in the living room, opened the door, and my grandmother opened the door, and they looked at each other, and my uncle said, was that you? And my grandmother said, no, I thought it was you. So they just decided it was nothing. They went back into their respective rooms and closed the door. Well, as soon as they got back doing whatever they were doing, they heard the knock again. They opened the door, they looked at each other, they looked down the hall towards the back door, which would have been right about there. Nobody there. They could see through the door because it had windows. They looked through the front door, right out there. Nobody was there. So my aunt, my uncle, and my grandmother walked out in the hall, and my aunt, who's 9 years old, was walking behind my grandmother, and they started towards the front door to see if somebody had knocked, and they couldn't see them just looking down the hall. When they got started down the hallway, my grandmother stopped dead in her tracks and her mouth dropped open. And my uncle said, "What's wrong? What's wrong?" And she pointed to the wall, and there were footprints going up the wall to where you would go into the attic, but there was no ladder. And there was footprints going up the wall. They were not baby footprints, but they were not adult footprints. They were a child's footprints, and they were barefoot going up the wall. So everybody left the house. They all went away. They went down the road to another uncle's house, and he came back, and he went through the whole house. He checked everything out, and he actually brought a ladder and went up into the attic and looked around, and they couldn't find anything. But the footprints, which had mysteriously appeared, just as mysteriously disappeared. And we don't know what caused the footprints. So down through the years, we've decided it must have been a ghost. And since my grandmother thinks that dead people was thrown in that well right there, we figured it was one of them ghosts that was thrown in that well. Another part, what?
That over there under.
Be careful. Oh,
See
there's 10.
parts.
Yeah.
The brick.
Here's 10, probably off the back porch roof. I told you, we're right here at the well. This is the back porch. We're right here at the back porch.
There's remnants of this house all over here.
There's a whole wall almost over there.
That's what I was looking at, was that over there. I don't think I can get to it though.
Tried to turn it in, but I don't know if I did it in
Sticker. Yeah, look at all those stickers.
Yeah, those are big thorn bushes. You have to be very careful. So another part of this story is that when my mama was pregnant, she used to walk down to the creek. And I have a recurring dream of me walking down to this creek. And before we stopped here, me and Tim drove down to that creek, and we're going to drive back down there and show it to y'all. But these are things that happened while I was in my mother's womb. I wasn't born yet, and I have memories of them.
Okay.
That is an original ghost story. You can see right here. You see that charred wood? That's from the fire. Charred out there. And I'm sorry if my voice is shaky, y'all. It's cold out here.
Sorry, this camera is shaking. It's cold out here.
That is the fact that I'm a little bit weirded out at what we just found back here. I didn't expect to find this much red. Still, okay. That's the steps. Tim, that's front steps.
Yeah, maybe.
What's that metal thing over there? Is that part of the porch railing?
Yep, that's a step.
Those are the steps. Oh my goodness gracious. This is the front porch that I'm standing on.
Charred wood over here.
This burned down probably about 1975, I think.
There's that step.
There's more. That is a darn palm tree.
Be more of this structure possibly right there. It's been a pretty good sized house.
My grandparents lived in was pretty good size. They had a big family. This might be part of a lock, a fence. I thought this would be the easier way to go, but you know what? I'm changing my mind because of the two. Slippery there.
How do we get in here?
Now we're going to go back down to the creek I was telling you about that Mama used to walk to. Ain't nothing coming behind us that I can see.
I don't know. I better just do this for now.
Oh, okay.
Well, I see something here might be.
Why are you riding that Robert Hood Road?
Oh, I don't know.
Y'all see I'm scaring me now.
Well,
Anyway, I'm so shocked. You can turn around up here at this water plant place.
that's what I was thinking.
Y'all, I'm kind of surprised at what I just found because I didn't expect to find much of any of it. I've never gone off the road. I didn't expect to actually find it, but goodness, I didn't expect to find the whale. That was a unbelievable find in my opinion. But now we're going to ride down to the creek that Mama used to walk to when she's pregnant with me, that I have a recurring dream about going to, and since I've ridden down there, that is my dream. That's where I'm going in my dream. She walked down here when she was pregnant with me. I have no memory of this place. I do not know what that means. I just know that, yeah, that's what it is. You see, the story ends with the footprints going up the wall and then they disappeared, and my family never believed in ghosts, so they just, in fact, they sat around and discussed it, and they decided that somebody had climbed up in the attic and threw a rope down so somebody else could climb up. But my question is, how'd they get up there? And if they had a ladder and could get up there, why would they throw a rope down for somebody to climb up the wall? So that it don't make any sense. I'm sorry. And the footprints were there and nobody did anything with them, and then the footprints just magically disappeared. Okay.
This road is old.
Oh, this road is old. This is an old.
But they're clearing out a bunch of stuff. Here's this.
Here we go. You can stop on the bridge if there ain't nothing back there. You just keep a good watch.
There's a fair amount of traffic.
Well, yeah, I know there's a fair amount of traffic, but you know what? That's all right. Get you up here because I can't see very good. We're coming back at the bridge from the other side, but we can't stop this time because somebody's behind us and they might not appreciate it if we stop. I don't know what that was back there in the middle of the road. Stuffed animal. Maybe it belonged to the child whose footprints went up the wall. I don't know. Anyway.
And this road, Tammy said, was pretty deserted. It ain't deserted, not anymore.
Used to be. They are clearing everything
clearing
off.
a lot of things
you
out.
just look out my window and you'll see they're fixing to. I'm glad that we came when we did, because I bet if we come back, it'll all be gone. And I'm sure that well will be gone. This was a very cool adventure. I enjoyed it very much. And my voice is a little bit more modulated now because, one, I'm not freezing. Two, that was really unbelievable to me. Alright. That was Tim and Tammy time for today, and I call that story Footprints on the Wall.